As the figure of Paige Hadley looms over Ken Rosewall Arena, the Swifts in the yellow dress as they were from 1997 to 2007, and this will be their 100th Suncorp Super Netball game and their 409th overall, if you can believe that. 7 premierships along the way and 5 wins in the last 5 weeks. 3 by 1 goal, 1 by 3 goals, and 1 blowout, Kim Green, by 4 goals. They have had some narrow wins, and they'll be hoping to do it a little bit easier this week against the Magpies, who have had everything thrown at them. But as we said in the pre-show, there is so much experience in this side. There are so many players with so many games that they've seen a lot in their professional careers, and you would imagine that they've been keeping their younger players up and about.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's time that, you know, in these times that you want your leaders to step up, but you need those younger ones to come with you. And I'm sure that, you know, the likes of Ajiva Mentor, Sophie Gubb and Kelsey Brown, who's been there for a very long time, will be trying to just really get around them and make sure that they step up today. This is going to be a critical game for them.
Absolutely it is, and when you look back at what they did in round 1, they have a team that matches up well against the Swifts, but the Swifts back then are different to the ones now. They are certainly carrying so much momentum. Nicole Richardson with some words to her team as the cheers ring around Ken Rosewall Arena. When there is a good crowd in, which is mostly red, it can be a great place to play netball. And there is the Woolworths team card for the Swifts. And I'd say to you, well, who's the key player? But when you look through that lineup, they're all key players.
Yeah, absolutely. But Housby, we spoke about her pre-game. She'll need to have a good one against Jodie Ann Ward. And the defence need to get ball. They don't get a lot of ball in hand, so they need to be able to get a few more for those attackers today. But if you take a look at the Magpies, Nelson gets that goal shooter position. Brazel and Jiva Mentor, the captains, the ones that are going to lead them through this game today. Don't be surprised if we see Kelly Singleton come into the game at some time.
Yeah, well, we see her in the last 5 minutes of quarters, as she attempts to do a Helen Housby and shoot the lights out and keep the Magpies in it. I think that's probably what we might be seeing. Maddie Proud to kick things off. And we are underway. Fox Netball on a Sunday, and immediately Brazel with the tip, and Proud picks up the pressure on early. Housby circle edge straight in to Aiken George, and always good to get the first one out of the way.
Well, you can see already, Will, that Ward is going out and having a crack at things. That's exactly how you want to start the game for this Magpies.
Heavily strapped right thigh for Kelsey Brown as Turner gets her hands on one. Cloud picks up, and eventually Fraser. Good awareness there after the touch from Cloud. And an early turnover going the home team's way. Hadley holds up and launches Ward, nearly hands on one. Wanted the call, doesn't get it.
Well, unlucky for Ward on that one. She definitely had 2 hands to it. It came off Housby, but Swifts get that opportunity.
Proud and Housby almost fighting over it. Lovely work there. Down low, then over the top, Aiken George. Under the post, 2-0 to the Swifts.
We can see already just the strategies on the centre pass. Hadley going and finding Ward to allow Housby to get free on the first phase. Hasn't worked just yet.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay, and despite her protestations, I think the call was correct. Housby with her first shot of the game, no mistake. So, Bronnie Akel happy with that. 90 seconds gone, 3 goals to the good. Brown, first real attacking raid for the Magpies.
And great lead up from the Collingwood Magpies, 3 passes and in.
Yeah, good confidence. Nelson probably shooting from further than she would have liked, but after a couple of balks, no mistake. High for Turner. Hadley, the 150 gamer. Sarah Clow also 100 games today, so joins a pretty exclusive club herself. Hadley becomes the 6th Swift to do it. Who else is on that list? Green? Can you at least mention yourself?
Oh, myself.
Yes, okay, right. All right. Just names none other than Pettit, Broadbent, Cox, Ellis as well.
Construction goalkeeper.
Appreciate the shout out, Will.
Well, how many games did you play for the Swifts? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Well, having
A lot.
memorised your Wikipedia page, it's 167. And also wrote your Wikipedia page.
You
Big
did?
fan. Oh, absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, no, 100%. Asby, too long on one.
Well, Will, this is the transition that we've been talking about pre-game. They're only sitting at 54% of being able to nail these goals, gains from goal percentage. And look at that. They obviously have been working on this week.
Very fluid down court, 4-3, centre pass as well. So the little break back, Garvin lets it go quick, lovely pass needed to be. And we're going to be back at 4 apiece, you would think. All right, little ebbs and flows in this one, straight to the pocket to Housby. Front space, still looking for better positioning. She misses one, instead hands off to Aiken George. The extra pass causes the tip, and suddenly,
Look at
5-4 on the
that.
split, very nice.
And all through the middle channel. There's no quicker way to get to the top of the circle. Let's have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. An outside hand, getting a tip on that one. But the transition through court was incredible.
Contact goalkeeper. One step in, beside the keeper.
Sophie Garvin with her first of the game. She'll be happy to get that one out of the way. Interesting little ebbs and flows in this one, Sam Pullman. You are on the sideline right now, and how are you seeing the first 5 minutes of this one?
I'm loving the start of this game. The New South Wales Swifts are certainly giving the crowd something to cheer about. There's plenty of former Swifts in the crowd. And then hopefully one day, as we see Jiva Mentor just get a warning there for intimidation in the face from the umpire. But what I also love is the how united this Collingwood Magpies. Lovely touch there from Sarah Clow. Their cheering and the communication coming out of the Collingwood bench. They are very happy with this start, the first 5 minutes of this quarter.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, fast start, extremely important for the Magpies. There have been flat spots in the Swifts games throughout. They haven't won all 4 quarters, as you said in the pre-game, Kim, yet. So there are areas to be exploited across the course of the 4 quarters for the Swifts.
There is, and you know, you've seen them get on top of the best in the biz, Viva last week, and they still didn't win 4 quarters. So imagine how good they can be. But they need to be mindful in this first quarter in particular. They need to start well, because we know they finish well, but have a good start. Almost just simmer your way through second and third and crush it in the fourth.
Yep.
You've got a good game on your hands.
Lovely work from Molly Jovic. She's part of our mid-court matchup we picked out earlier on. Gets it on the fly, immediately releases. But both teams being a tiny bit sloppy with the ball. Lovely pass there in to Nelson as they go back into the lead 7-6. And that's going to bring our first HCF timeout. Interesting little opening period in this game. And we're going to listen in to Bryony Akel, who is also on a... We're not actually. We're going to listen in to the Magpies, I think. No, I was right. We're going to listen in to Bryony and see what she has to say as she goes for her 50th SSN win as coach.
That last one was good. Much better footwork. Early footwork. Yeah. Well, good job. Big hands, really good hands early, which is good. Try and block the middle off. Sit on the inside, but still challenge and contest. Good job. Congratulations, you have won this incredible. Hands in. Let's just reset here. Getting too wide, their box is squeezing you to the wide. So take them wide, then drive middle, 2 options. Let's go. Here we go, guys. Oh, it's a switch. Good job.
Bryony Akel there, wanting to steady the ship for her Swifts. As I said, they've been a little bit messy in the opening period.
Yeah, they have been, and exactly what she was just saying is that the Collingwood Magpies are setting up this box, pushing them all wide, but she wants Housby to drive through it, create them to have to make a decision of, you know, taking on her and then, you know, seeing space somewhere else. So definitely needs to change up in that attack end.
Pullman was stalking around the outside of Nicole Richardson's camp. What did you hear over there, Sam?
I absolutely was, and they were a positive feedback to all of their players. Interesting around their attack end, really happy with that ball and take from Nelson that's going in, and identifying that they want a one-on-one matchup. So they want Clow and Nelson because they believe that Nelson can win that battle like she is in this first quarter. And speaking about Garvin really getting that ball up to assist in that ball in. So keep an eye out in that tacking because they're very pleased with what they're doing so far.
And Sammy, I just want to talk about Garvin and her, I guess, her ability to drive out the front. Do you think she's doing that well so far?
I think she's injecting herself and giving her Maddie Turner something to think about, and that's what we want in terms of that one-on-one matchup between Clow and Nelson. We want Garvin doing enough work out the front to keep Maddie Turner busy. So if she can just keep that ball up, as Nicole Richardson wants, and keep injecting herself, I think they'll play out the rest of this quarter quite nicely.
Maddie Proud coming up with a loose ball off a tip. Thank you, Sam, as the Swifts look to equalise. Proud looked to go to the pocket instead, went short to Housby. Whistle. That's an important one, and there you could see a big deep breath from Helen Housby, having missed her previous attempt. 8 apiece halfway through the quarter. Hadley long and high, and Ward stretches out.
Well, great setup. Jiva Mentor coming out and Ward back in. Opening was there, but she was able just to get her feet to it.
What a couple of amazing battles we have down that end of the court. Ward on Housby. Aiken George on Mentor, the Harvey Norman replay. Brown, high, splits the two Swifts defenders. And the Magpies on transition, so strong and doing it easy. And as you say, doing it down the middle. Certainly not using the same amount of passes the Swifts are.
That's a great ball from Proud. It was just the timing of it. She just had a moment, let it set, had a good look at it, and placed it up in the air.
28 feeds last week, Proud, 13 assists, and well and away this one. 7 feeds already. Real linchpin of the attacking end.
And there's the drive that we're talking about with Garvin, taking on the front lead, allowing the defenders to have to come off one-on-one in the circle.
10-10. 5:50 to go. We're heading towards the Power 5. We're going to see if there's any changes. We've seen a real trend of HCF timeouts as Mentor gets one and Braz cleans up. Plenty of turnovers from both sides. Ward, Jovic looks down court, goes short.
In defense obstruction.
This looks like a Magpies team that is here to win again.
The intent is so clear, Will. It is fast-paced. The ball is getting given really early. Swifts are holding on to their passes. Look, have a look at that. Sees it, gives it. Not the right choice of pass, needed a little bit more height, but at least they're looking at it. That gives confidence.
That is the 5 Hooters that signal the Power 5. So the super shot in effect now. Proud. Housby, who was so effective, basically won that game with her super shot last week against the Fever by a goal, 65-64. Real question of whether you go for it when it's level pegging like this. You know, at this early in the game, probably better to go for the 1-point shot. Maybe I'm just being a conservative.
Well, I think when you've got Helen Housby in your team, you could definitely go for those super shots. And I think that brings her into the game as well. Getting that confidence early. You don't want to be relying on the last quarter to be doing your super shots.
Gets the crowd up and about as well. They're looking for one, and they might be given one now. Houseby, no good. The ball, anyone's. And she's going to get another crack at it. She's going to take it too, and this time, same result. Making George on the ground, did everything she could. So, 0 from 2 for Helen Houseby so far. She had 14 attempts last week. Very successful in doing so as well. And down the court, we'll see what Molly Jovic, Sophie Garvin, and the rest of this team can come up with. That was easy again in.
Easy. You can feel the momentum is, you know, it's almost an even game, but you can feel the Magpies are starting to shift, find it. Look at those balls. They are quick, but they're risky. But they're willing to give it.
Certainly coming off at the moment. Nelson will be 11 from 11 if she's successful here. Let's put the mockers on her badly.
Goalkeeper. Just around the other side, goalkeeper. You're underneath goal defence, advantage obstruction.
13-11, long and high, lovely ball. Sam, you've had your eye on the Magpies attack. I mean, we all have, and they've looked like they've been doing it easily. Those balls have been some 50-50 balls there. They're coming off.
You're so right, and the reason why you said the word easy is because the New South Wales Swifts defenders, they're just reacting, so they're just in chase mode because the Collingwood Magpies attack end are moving quite quickly. We just saw quite a big clash.
Sorry, just to interrupt there. Proud is not getting up. Garvin, former teammate, and Maddie Proud looks groggy. Play continues, and it's a goal to Magpies. Proud's running it off right now. See if she has to go off for a concussion test. Here's the Harvey Norman replay, and just weren't looking, ran into each other, Garvin and Proud. She looks okay now though, Maddie Proud.
Bryony Ackles on the sideline asking the umpires to call time for a head injury.
There's some discussion right now on the sideline, and she will come off. Maddie Proud, 2 goals down, just under 2 minutes to go, gets clapped off. We're going to find out how she is. Sam, how did you see that? Was closer to you than it was to us. How did you see that one?
Yeah, I was watching intently in terms of the umpire on this side was down the other end, so she did not see the clash. We see the umpires quite confused, and Bryony Ackle actually saying she's had a head clash. You need to call time, really being direct to the umpires for Maddie Proud's safety. She did not look good.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, we saw it the same from here, and play eventually stopped. We'll keep you updated, and we'll send our investigative reporter, Pullman, over to find out what's going on at some point. In the meantime, turnover and a feed from Houseby to Aiken George, and we're going to go back to 1 goal, you would think.
Now watch these Swifts players lift. Because Proud's not on there, Houseby will inject a little bit more to take the load off Gorman Brown. Keep an eye on that in attack.
Yeah, Lily Gorman Brown, one of 2 players in the 10 for the Swifts who have just 1 game to their name. She debuted last year, round 2 against the Vixens. That was a nail-biter, as I recall. Only 23 years of age, and Cloud this time gets a hand on one, and the Swifts, they could level it, and they could put their nose in front with the super shot. That would be some nice momentum going into quarter time. Fraser waiting. Gorman Brown offering the option as they circle up front.
And good option to go back from her, and that's a lovely swing. She's come on with confidence.
And Houseby takes that top position, and her 3rd attempt. This time she sinks it, and the Swifts go up by 1 with 20 seconds on the clock and a centre pass. Houseby down this time. Get the whistle and the restart, and that is a very useful 3-point play. 2nd time I put the mockers on, I should stop saying that. Aiken George gets it in eventually, and the Swifts will end the quarter up by 2 after trailing for the last 5 or 6 minutes. A very handy last couple of minutes. We'll see what happened to Maddie Proud as well. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more.
Welcome welcome back to quarter time. Thanks to Origin. I have the pleasure of Paige Hadley's brother, Rob Hadley, joining me. 150 games for your sister. How proud are you and your family?
Super proud of my sister. We've watched her ever since she was 5 or 6 years old. Travelled around the world to watch her play. Didn't see her play in the Commonwealth Games, but look, she's amazing, 100% all the time, and best sister ever, I suppose.
You have to say that, you're on live TV. But what about, you've got 2 young girls yourself. How important is she as an auntie and a role model to look up to your 2 girls?
I don't even think they realise that she plays netball for our country and stuff, but look, amazing big sister, your little sister, sorry, amazing auntie, and she loves them, and we love her so much. She's unreal.
Well, enjoy the rest of this game. I know that you've been a big part, you and your family have been a big part of her journey. Back to you, Will.
Thanks, Sam. And I just wish that my siblings would say such nice things about me. That was really lovely from Rob Hadley there. And why not? 150 National League games, of course, a diamond, and has done just about everything that there is to do in this great game of netball, and led from the front and continues to lead this Swifts team, who are closing in on a top 2 spot once again after being pipped by the Vixens overnight. And Cloud coming forward again. Swifts up by 2 at quarter time.
Well, Turner giving the thumbs up to Cloud, so that is definitely one of the strategies for this quarter in particular. Cloud, go and have a crack outside.
If I was Sue Gordian, I would have said she was out hunting.
Home alone.
Can't really, yeah. She'll be calling the game next, I think, alongside Stacey Francis-Bayman for the Fever. Back at home at RAC Arena up against the Firebirds. Should be a good one.
Contact, win attack.
And then, of course, pivot tonight straight after as Aiken George opens the account in the second quarter for the Swifts. Brown, who's been very busy despite that strapping. And that one's high, beats everyone out. And I don't think Cloud got a hand on it. No, so a chance for the Swifts to go back-to-back.
Look at that Harvey Norman replay. You can see the positioning change. We talk about Cloud's footwork. She was able to flip on the opposite side, confuse the space, and regain the ball.
Again, high, that seems to be the route to go to Nelson, and why not? It's been working so far. .90 seconds gone, 1 goal in it. Willie Gorman-Brown still out there after Maddie Proud's head knock. And speaking of knocks, this time it's Housby and Mentor, the 2 roses that clash. And that knocked the wind out of Housby, but a thumbs up and a smile. So plenty of physicality. And why not Harvey Norman replay now? And it was just a little elbow to the chest from Mentor. Just a little, don't argue, isn't it?
Just a little.
I say little. I don't want to. I love Jiva, but that was pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was in slow motion. I was like, oh, she just touched it.
Yeah, just touched it.
Yeah. Gorman-Brown slotting in nicely, the 23-year-old. Nice little interplay and then handing off Housby to Aiken George, who picks up goal number 12 from 14. Swifts by 2 as they were at the quarter-time break. Brazel fires it into the pocket, too far for Garvin.
Well, and it's about the work that you need to do off the ball. Garvin just needed to have a prelim move so she wasn't so far on a sideline. Just need to shorten that lead up.
Gorman-Brown looks back. Fraser provides the option. Good, strong defence, and it's a turnover. Needed that one, the Magpies, after letting 2 slip.
That's it.
Brown, Ward, Hadley nearly out on that one, and Housby as well gets called on the contact. Circle edge, Garvin, high again, error route. Cloud wants that one, but those balls have been pinpoint.
Barney's contact, win attack. Button construction centre.
And that's a good ball from Housby. There was nothing quite else there for her, so she had to go long, but it was precision passing. We see Maddie Proud back on the bench there. I wouldn't imagine she would be back in the game today, Will.
Well, we'll see if we can get Sam to go and find out. She's looking at me as I say that. I'm like sending her into the camp. Down you go. Let's find out. And we'll see if Maddie will play a role in this one. Housby circle edge. Stumble from Aiken George.
And look at the Nissan net points.
52 Nissan net points in a quarter. That's mad.
She is impressive. Oh, we just see Hadley get that intercept at the top of the circle. Magpies doing a good job of slowing them down in this mid-third.
That's incredible. 51.5. Yeah, that's right. Leads all comers. Maddie Proud sitting on the bench.
And a good little 1-2 between Gorman Brown and Aiken George. I think those two are starting to find their connection really well. Here's that pass. Hadley covering her and then heading on to the top of the circle to get that intercept.
Momentarily at the far left-hand side of your screen, you could see Maddie Proud stand up, and she's got the wing attack bib on. Sam, you're loitering over there in the corner. I can see you. What's going on over there?
I'm just there just in case they need an extra body, Will.
Here if you need. I love it.
Absolutely. Any chance that I can get to enter the game in a centre court, but communication down here amongst all of the players, I think we're going to see a few changes, but Maddie Proud did spend a fair bit of time out the back. And they're saying that she can come back on. I just heard the physio say it, but we see Sophie Fawns line up. So I think the bench is going to get used at any time from all three players.
Yeah, discussion right now between Fawns and Bryony Akel. Sophie Fawns with the goal attack bib on. So a change coming, and the wing attack bib on Proud, but she's sitting down at the moment. HCF timeout, and we're going to listen in to Nicole Richardson and the Magpies. 5 goals right now to the Swifts, and we'll have some words to say.
Change here and put Cal on. Okay, so Cal, just make sure that you get your vision down. So make sure sight defender, turn, sight defender, and working with Cal's off first phase. Who's going first phase? Preparing for second phase. Get depth to then punch forward, okay? Maddie's going to be on you, and on you. Just pull back and then go again. Okay, let's go. Just keep manipulating your start position, right? Keep manipulating that start position. And we may look for more for that front position and the drop instead of always going over the back. So just read it. Read Sarah's body positioning on you. As soon as you feel her moving around too much, I would square off and just pop it in that space. Okay. Use a bit more of the front space. So she's going to manipulate that. Okay? Yep. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ball side on their second phase. Yes. Let's go. This is the moment where we grind it, all right? Stay connected with each other, intent on everything. Let's go. Let's go. Fuck it. We go.
8:50 in the second quarter. The Swifts with their biggest lead so far. 8-5 in this quarter. The Swifts leading the scoring. They were up 17-15 at quarter time. And I have the understanding that Maddie Proud needs to spend a little bit more time on the bench before she can come on after clearing the HIA. But Sophie Fawns is on the court, replacing Helen Hounsby. Come on. Housby. Jeez. Needed to call that one out before Green did it for me.
We also see Kelly Singleton come in at that goal attack position. You heard Nicole Richardson asking her to get some depth and then drive again. So really looking for a little bit more movement from that goal attack position. Oh, and that's a great feed from Brown. The Swifts had that box set up, created the width, and then allowed that middle position to open up.
5 goals remains. Proud is back on court. There you go. And wing attack.
Contact wing defender.
Fawns gets a start. didn't play last week, so the youngster will be happy to be out there. Having said that, why take Helen Hounsby off at this period of the game?
Well, I think Bryony Akel was asking Housby to move a little bit more, so maybe she's just wanting Fawns to create a little bit more space, a little bit more energy out there. I'm not certain as to why she did that, but sometimes when you take Housby off, she comes back on firing, so maybe it's a little rev up.
Oh, brave from Akel. Play better when she's angry. Oh, Singleton, who's out there too, nearly times that one perfectly. So
well,
changes for both sides.
I was just going to talk about the gains from the Swifts. Will, we spoke about them last week not having a whole lot. They had 7 to their name. They have 7 to their name already in this game. So we're only halfway through quarter 2.
Played at a high pace this one, and Housby seeing herself on the big screen. As there's a small break in play for the Mops to come out at the Swifts attacking end. A breather for everybody. But look at that. 61% possession for the home team. Fraser, Hadley quickly now. Oh, that threaded the needle there between Brazel and Mentor. Did Fawns. And now out to 8 goals and having their biggest lead, or enjoying their biggest lead of this game so far. 11-6 for the quarter. Brown, Jovic, high, changes the angle of attack and then straight back into Nelson. Seven goals and an important super shot period coming up for the Magpies. Let's see, they've got Singleton out there already. Last time they met, Jodie-Ann Ward had 125 miss and net points and stats across the board. She's on 17 at the moment, yet to inject herself really into this one. Singleton on the transverse line, high again, and another beautiful pass to Nelson.
Well, and it's a setup from Nelson. She's sitting up nice and high, allowing that space behind her so for them to place the ball, as opposed to sitting really close to the post, and then they won't be able to give those long balls in particular. So she's setting up really, really well out the front.
Spoken like a former feeder. It wasn't my pass, it was there wasn't enough room.
They didn't position themselves.
Oh, Brazel doesn't like it.
Neither does Mentor, and rightfully so, got her hand on it.
Throwing that one away. But the whistle saves Maddie Proud.
Hold on. Sorry. Yes. Is there something on the court? Thank you. Okay, beside the goal defence.
Kim Green left a pen out there.
I was going to say it was your show notes.
31-23, still 8 goals. Power 5, a tip there from Proud, but it goes to Ward. Brazel bullet pass to Brown. Every possession crucial now for the Magpies. You see sometimes a team who's had as rocky a week as they have come out and be galvanised and be up and about early, but if they get behind, suddenly things can get very bad. Heads can drop. Let's hope that doesn't happen for Magpies fans. Fawns from distance. Mentor, with all of the pressure on, gets the contact call. Too short both times. Swifts retain possession.
Contact centre advantage offside, outside.
It's a good swing ball there. Hadley knew that Fawns needed to get in. Swing it to Proud, open her up, and
Beautiful. Sophie Fawns at, 20 years of age? Jiva Mentor, 38 years of age, but she wasn't fast, and this time Clow comes out again, attacking, and the bench is up. They loved it, 33-24, and the Swifts are really starting to put their foot down now.
Have a look at the replay, just saw it a mile away, went early. That's the onus on the feeder. You can't be passing those ones, you have to fake it, see it all.
Housby High steps in, doesn't waste time, and the Swifts are up by 10. And doesn't the crowd love it? Centre pass as well. And this little period of time, 3.5 minutes, could really help put it to bed for the home team. Looking for 6 in a row. Fawns.
And Sammy Pullman mentioned it earlier. It's about dictating now, and you can just see the Swifts are starting to find their groove, and they're just running. Have to push them into positions they don't want to be in.
Another Suncorp super shot, another $100 to the Confident Girls Foundation thanks to Suncorp, and another turnover. Proud picks it up, the loose ball. Fawns did the work. Over it goes to Fawns again. Thinks about the super shot. 12 goals, and it's getting worse for the Magpies. A 19-9 quarter at this point.
Oh, look at that ball. It's just the confidence to give it there, and the confidence in a youngster like Fawns to take it as well. She hasn't had a whole lot of court time, Fawns, this year, and when she has come on, she hasn't really excelled. So it's great to see.
Used up about 2.98 seconds there, Proud, before giving it. This time, very fast, beautiful pass. Housby nails it again. And look at that run from the Swifts, 39-24. Well. What a passage of play for the New South Wales Swifts. The HCF timeout comes out maybe a little too late for Nicole Richardson and the Magpies. We're going to listen in and see how they're going to stop this rot. Look at that face.
She looks disappointed.
Time with that far behind, we still need to score. So I said, but you're just letting yourself down in execution. We spoke in the break about getting your shoulders around and seeing down court, right? You need to sight down court and get vision, yeah? Right, everyone. Options in attack, keep working our options, yeah? So smart. We've got to score off it, right? So we can snail pace and hold up, but at the end of the day, we need to get the scoreboard ticking over. Okay, so vision around.
Wait. The next 2 minutes we're going to do a 6, so you guys slow down.
Rock it! Ball!
Not mincing words there at all, Nicole Richardson, and why not? 15 goals, and that run takes this quarter out to 22 goals for the Swifts, who have been scoring pretty freely throughout. Still 2 minutes to go, and it's now a combination of Sophie Fawns and Helen Housby at the attack again for the Swifts. So Imelda Aiken-George gets a long half-time. Singleton, Brazel, Brown. Another tip. Whistle, though.
Well done by Singleton, turning her hips. It's exactly what Nicole Richardson asked for, and she was able to get the penalty.
Stepping back into super shot territory, Nelson, who wants Singleton to take the shot instead.
I mean,
looks good out of the hands.
I'm not certain as to why Shimona Nelson would go into that space and then not shoot it.
Very good point.
You've got to have confidence to have a crack at those if you're going to put yourself in that position.
Well, Kelly Singleton is there to do that job, as is Helen Housby. 10 last week, another one this week, returns fire, it goes back to 15. Gee, that takes the wind out of your sails when you hit a super shot and then immediately concede one. Brown, under a lot of pressure from Hadley, goes back to Ward. Singleton, and they're having trouble getting down court now. Very different to the opening quarter. 24-11 now, the quarter time score. Nelson back in super shot territory again, looks for another option. And the Swifts defence, who have had their issues winning ball in previous games, are certainly up and about. Every single extra pass is an extra chance for the Swifts to get their hands on it as Clow tries. Not even considering taking the super shot, Nelson immediately looking for where Singleton is, sends it back again, and again.
And smart from Singleton, knowing the body was coming, creating the penalty there.
3 misses in a row, and the Swifts have a chance to come down court in the last 20 seconds of this one and finish with all the momentum going into half-time here at Ken Rosewall Arena. Fraser looks down court, Bournes, Hadley lets it go, and Ward flies high. Right idea, but the athleticism of Jodie-Ann Ward is hard to match. Housby, hot hand again, she drops it right on the buzzer, another super shot. And a 24-goal quarter for the New South Wales Swifts has them absolutely in command here at Ken Rosewall Arena. 43 to 26. Kim Green, how about the last 10 minutes of this game? They have blown it wide open.
They certainly have, and that quarter was 26 to 11. And you could just see the Collingwood Magpies completely lost all their structures in defence, but in attack started throwing balls without seeing what's in front of them. They'll be disappointed in that one.
Well, it's been an interesting half for the New South Wales Swifts, and an especially interesting one for the guest that is alongside Sam Pullman right now.
Yeah, thanks, Will. I have Maddie Proud with me. Mads, a former teammate, you clashed with Sophie Garvin. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I think Sophie just misses me a little bit too much now. But, yeah, I think anytime you get hit in the head, it was, you know, she's a strong unit as well, so came off second best. But all good now, when I did all the tests and everything like that. And all those protocols ticked all the boxes, and just happy to be back out there.
I feel like the first quarter went the Collingwood Magpies' way in terms of momentum. Really finished off. I know you missed part of that second, but a 24 to 11 second quarter. What stood out for you?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, I thought Lily just came on and injected some great speed. I thought she did an awesome job. I think we saw at the end, Soph and Helen just having no fear with taking some super shots, but I think a lot of it's that offensive pressure. I think the defenders in that first quarter were really starting to grind them down and then started to get the benefits in that second quarter.
In terms of your season, putting in context, how important is this second half to keep pushing on, trying maybe new structures, and then continually with confidence was what's working well this season?
Yeah, it's massive, I think, in a lot of ways. I think the table's still really tight, especially those top few positions. So, you know, getting a win is the number one focus, but it's also just making sure we're sticking to our game plan, putting into practice what we're doing at training, and yeah, really finishing off strong.
Thanks, Mads. Good luck for the second half.
Good to see Maddie Proud is up and about. Not so much for the Magpies, who have some questions to answer. We're going to take a break. Don't forget that after this game comes the Fever and the Firebirds, and then after that it is Pivot with Hannah Hollis and our special guest tonight, the Sunshine Coast Lightning, Cara Conan, at 5:30 on 5:05. Don't miss it. Welcome back to Ken Rosewall Arena, and if you have missed it, the Swifts have been on a tear in the second quarter here against the Collingwood Magpies, who came out strong, but the Swifts were stronger, putting an extra 15 on the Magpies just in the last 10 minutes of the second quarter, and plenty of questions to be asked of Nicole Richardson and her charges. It was an incredible run, I guess, for the Swifts late on, and the crowd here are absolutely loving it and seeing a 6th consecutive win in the offing.
Yeah, they've done really well, and you know, that first quarter they were just trying to figure out what was going on. In that second quarter they certainly put their foot down. I've loved what we've seen from the Swifts attack, and this is what a premiership looking team looks like, and they certainly are in the mix for it.
Well, after all of those 1-goalers and 4-goalers and 3-goal wins, it'd be nice for Bryony Akel to be able to put this one to bed earlier on, but the crowd, you know, certainly enjoying them coming together combination-wise and being able to change combinations too. We've seen Proud on and off. We've seen Aiken George on and off as well.
And what I like, in the last HCF timeout that they had, Bryony Akel, their coach, actually was sitting on the bench and didn't get up to talk to her team. So that's another opportunity that they're making sure that their leaders are having a say, that players are working it out themselves without that coach's direction. When you talk about the back end of season and finals, you want players who can problem solve in the moment and push on with this lead that they have.
Midway through the second quarter, we saw a current Swift and a former Swift come together. Sophie Garvin clashing in the middle of your screen there with Maddie Proud. Now, I don't think it hit Garvin in the head, certainly hit Proud in the head, and she was a bit wobbly getting up. Had to go off for an HIA. Past that, came back onto the bench and then continued We thought it was 15 minutes. We might be misinformed there but she seemed fine when she went off after that initial wobble.
Yeah, and I think from your understanding on the sideline, Sammy, that they had to wait a certain amount of time for her to get back out on court. So they have ticked all the boxes apparently from their end. But she's gone back on and, just absolutely flown as well.
Yeah, I think it was the clash that was the concerning part, but then the stumble after. Coach Bryony Ankle was up on her feet straight away trying to get the umpire's attention, who was down the other end, to say we need duty of care to step in here. And the third umpire really had to step up and make sure that time was called. But you're right, the physio I heard said you have to do a certain amount of time. I asked again from the Swifts bench saying that they have ticked all the right requirements and duty of care, and she hasn't missed a beat since she's been back out there.
All right, I have no doubt that the Swifts team have done exactly what they need to do to make sure Maddie Proud is out there. Up the defensive end, Sarah Clow has been out looking for balls, and it has slowly been coming off. We're going to see more and more of this as the game progresses.
Well, we challenged her at the start of the game. I was one to put out her stats and where she sat in the league, and she's come out for some absolute flyers, which I love to see. I think they were getting quite burnt in that first quarter. We spoke about just chasing rather than dictating and denying. Now in that second quarter, it set them up to have a fly and have a go at opportunities and showcase how good they are at reading the play.
What about the Magpies attack? Obviously, the aerial route to Nelson has been useful for them. In the first half, we said, those 50-50 passes were coming off and they were moving really well down court, but the Swifts defence has been able to match them in the second quarter and then overcome them.
Yeah, you're certainly right. That first quarter, they were finding space beautifully. They had that one-on-one space to absolutely nail it. But then they started to not turn their hips and see posts. That also allows the defence to try and figure out what to do and actually commit to something. So you heard Nicole Richardson really talk to them sternly about that, and you could see it at the back end of that quarter, but was it too late, that timeout? I think so.
All right, as always, the numbers tell the story, and the shooting accuracy around the same. Lots of gains, a lot of that coming in the first quarter alone. As you said, they only had 7 for the entire game. They're sitting on 10 right now. Penalties and everything else, except for turnovers, is roughly the same.
Well, and the great thing about those gains, 10 gains, but they've been able to capitalise on 100% of those. So Swifts doing a fantastic job of just putting the foot down, especially when they get those turnovers.
All right, well, I can tell you that even though it's Heritage Round and we're looking back, there are so many youngsters in the crowd here that are enjoying this netball. The next crop of Swifts likely to be amongst them. The question Suncorp wants to know is what netball means to you. Brought to you by Suncorp, we'd like you to submit your entry in 50 words or less, along with a video or an image of you or your club to foxsports.com.au/Suncorp, or scan this QR code that's sitting in the middle of your screen right now for your chance to win a family membership to the Suncorp Super Netball Club of your choice in the 2024 season. I'm assuming that it'll be the Swifts or the Magpies if you're watching right now. And here is Taylor's entry, and netball's important to her because of the friendships made. I think everyone can agree with that, especially at this age. Each year you get given new teammates. Every week you train together, play together, and sometimes these players can become your best mates for a long time. I can agree with that. The under-7 C4 superstars and all of my daughter's teammates are up in the crowd as well right now. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to get the action underway. Once again, it is the Swifts in command over the Magpies. Sunday Netball on Fox. Back underway here at and play already started with the Swifts up 43-26, if you can believe that, 26-11 in the second quarter, and Helen Housby stays on at goal shooter, so that combination of Housby and Fawns remains. So Imelda Aiken-George still on the bench. Changes for the Magpies as well, with Maddie Hinchliffe coming on at wing defence. Ash Brazel with the C-bib on, and Nicole Richardson sitting in her customary position, about to have a chat with us. And Nicole, it's been an interesting week and an interesting second quarter for you. What was the message to your Chargers at halftime?
The messages to our Chargers was just to get back, enjoy what they're doing, and really focus on what they can do on court. We let ourselves down in terms of our execution with ball in hand, and it's a real simple game. We need to go back and be accountable for our own player one-on-one.
And you talk about accountability. What does that exactly look like? Is it, I know you said one-on-one, but is it the first phase on the centre pass? Is it, the transition out? What exactly is that?
Well, for us in terms of that, Kim, it's just our first phase. We're looking to put first phase pressure on, and when we go a hard one-on-one, that's what we're looking at. When we change our defensive structures and go into more of an area defence, then we're looking at stopping second phase. So that's sort of the difference between the two structures and the focus first or second phase.
And Hinchliffe coming into the fold, what are you expecting from her?
Yeah, look, just seeing if Maddie can win some balls. She's a bigger body out there with big hands, pressure over. So just seeing if we can force Swifts into a few errors off hands.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thanks, guys.
Good access there, considering the state of the game and the wider situation as well. Fawns from distance instead goes over the top. Mentor knew it was coming, but she wants to say that wasn't off her hands, but the Swifts retain the ball. It's quiet in Ken Rosewall Arena right now. Plenty of excitement towards the end of the second quarter. Waiting to see how this one plays out. Housby from distance, that'll wake the crowd up, and it does.
She's laughing at her technique on that shot. A little step in number from her.
Ball loose. Tap back from Mentor. That was a strange one.
It was over a third.
Sorry, I was looking at the screen. I was looking at the stat screen thinking about how many Helen Housby shot. She's 14 of 17 at the moment, and she shot plenty of them from distance too.
Well, there's that one-on-one that they're talking about. Maddie Hinchliffe trying to take on the body on that first phase.
Lovely rebound under pressure from Housby. A tip from behind from Mentor, and this time it's Fawns picks it up finally. It drops. 47-29.
Oh!
4-3 the quarter. Hadley nearly in the 150th.
Gosh, that was smart. I was watching her eyes the whole time. She was, you know, on a one-on-one and came off early. Here, look at the replay. Fantastic work from Hadley.
The finest of edges on it. It heads out.
Swifts.
17 goals it sits at the moment. Hadley, nice pass as the Swifts look for a way in.
Well, it's interesting. The Swifts are almost playing like they're in the Power 5 period.
Yeah,
they want to
absolutely.
sit in that super shot range, get themselves ready, maybe to pull the trigger.
Well, they got two super shooters on at the moment. And Aiken George, well, she's got the T-shirt on. She's same pass, nearly same result.
Oh!
This time Fawns, lovely vision in front of Brazel. And heads down court. Wow. The collision to the post from Ward. Fawns hits the ground. Everyone's all right. And after all of that, here's the Harvey Norman replay. Beautiful from Fawns, turns, lets it go. Aiken George loves it.
This almost looks a little bit like a training run for the Swifts at the moment. They've got such confidence to just throw balls, take risks. The Collingwood Magpies need to go and have a crack at something now. You can't keep doing the same thing. Go and be risky yourself.
Yeah, that's what the message was midway through the second quarter from Nicole Richardson. So we can hold them up all we want. We've got to score down the other end at the same time, and they've been doing the same thing, which was working for them in the first 7 or 8 minutes of the opening quarter. It's now 50-30, so it's not working anymore. Hands in the air from Nelson. She was unmarked. Clow remedies that, doesn't stop the shot from coming, and, well, Sam Pullman, the Swifts have carried on their merry way. It's now out to 19, 6-5 for the opening quarter, the third quarter, sorry.
Watching the action here courtside, and I think there's two different sides. You've got the New South Wales Swifts who are in attack, absolutely standing up and delivering with confidence, just like we saw in Sophie Fawns, but they can do whatever they like. The New South Wales Swifts defensively are sitting in space, reading the play, so they're already one step ahead to come off and have a fly, rather the Collingwood Magpies are chasing and just reacting to what's happening in front of them.
Sammy, I just want to ask you about time, because time is everything in defence. If you have plenty of time to go and have a look at something, you can go and have a crack. What do the Magpies need to do to shift time and momentum onto their side?
Well, they're very good defensively. We spoke about that in pre-game, about how good they are in terms of defence in the league. They need to just sit. They're sitting in a square formation, a diamond, as we say, but they're still worried about what's next. So what I'd like from them is thinking about where's it going, just like that, and going to have a crack. So one step ahead rather than one step behind where they're at the moment.
Harvey Norman replay.
Oh, that's over a third too.
And Fawns hits the deck back there. This could turn into a little bit of a bloodbath. We hope that the Magpies can find something at the back end of this one. They've got so much pride to play for. But they have had a very difficult time, and Helen Housby and the rest of the Swifts are making it just as difficult here on a Sunday afternoon. Back to 20 goals, 7.5 to go. Sophie Fawns shooting well. Super shots, 5 from 7 for Housby, and Cloud doing it again. Third time she's done that. Come out, got her hands on the ball, and that's why she is an Australian diamond. Harvey Norman replay. Hands in the air. Got to get that pass exactly right.
Well, and she covered so much space, Will. I think for the Collingwood Magpies, I would be thinking about putting Newton on, having a look at her, bring something a little bit different at the defence end. She has a little bit more height. Also very good footwork, but at the moment she's just sitting there getting cold.
She does look cold. It is cold in here.
It is cold.
Didn't play last week either, Newton. Played 13 games though in 2022. Been around the traps too. She's a premiership player for the Vixens before moving over to the Pies, and that one beats everybody, and when it's not your day, it just is not your day. Turner, Hadley, and Hinchcliffe nearly.
And perfect timing for Hinchcliffe to go and have a crack, because the next time the Swifts go down in transition, they're not going to throw that ball.
Aiken George comes back on, picks up her 21st from 23 attempts. Easy on the way in. Say it has that training run feel a little bit now. They've got that gap, and now it's gone out to, she says calm to herself, says Romelda. 54-32. Brown. Only 17 feeds for Kelsey Brown. Just haven't had enough ball, the Magpies. Housby back on, so the shooting circle as it started this game now for the Swifts. Two goals. Paige Hadley leads all comers on the Nissa net points, 91.5 with 5 to go in the third quarter in her 150th game. Maddie Proud, 85.5. And there is the bell for the Power 5. Housby and Aiken George, they can pretty much take their pick of what they want to do at the attacking end now.
Yeah, they sure can, Will, and I think that's the luxury of being up by so many goals at the moment. But it's the luxury of being able to go and have a crack at anything they want too. Ash Brazel has been really frustrated in this attack end. You can see that feed just then. Just needed to give Singleton a little bit of a moment to find a feed off the baseline. But she's just peppering those ones in.
Nelson hasn't been confident with that long-range shot today. Attempts one, doesn't come off, and down the court flow the Swifts. Beautiful play. Plenty of space at the back created. Second one she's left short in the last couple of minutes. Doesn't matter. Picking up a couple of rebounds for herself. Bryony Ankle likes it, and why not? 57-34 centre pass, and down they come again. This time it's going to be Housby, top of the circle for the super shot, and that is number 6 from 8 for Housby. Another Suncorp super shot, and the Swifts fans are watching a team that they can be confident is headed to the finals in a month's time. Singleton looks good out of the hand, leaves it short. Does she? No, that sneaks in. Need absolutely everything to go their way at this point, the Magpies. One out off Mentor, Swifts ball. Hadley back and forth with Proud, then to Housby.
Well, it's
Team full of absolute stars.
Much better movement from the Magpies. You can see they're starting to hedge a little bit more in that circle. Getting some tips and touches. They just have to stick with it now. Capitalise on anything that's loose ball.
Last quarter, 26-11. This quarter, currently 17-10. Singleton, Brazel.
Where you are.
Magpies really relying on Kelly Singleton to be able to drop shots, and she's doing it at the moment. Another $100 to the Confident Girls Foundation from Suncorp, so they'll be reaching deep in the pocket this year. Love to see it. Another one short. This time can't pick up the rebound, Aiken George. Ward. Brown looking for options. Brazel prevents one short. And Singleton this time from the other side steps back, and that is a good shot.
Kelly Singleton doing everything she can to keep the Magpies vibe up out there. It's very quiet out on court.
Yeah, it really is. No one's saying anything.
And this is where, under pressure, players need to stand up and go outside of their own body. That's how you become a good leader.
Oh, well, Kelly Singleton with the hot hand, 60-42. Now 3 in a row easy, and 2 off the step back too. This time, Aiken George steps back, gives it to Housby. Yet another one. And Helen Housby is saying, Kelly, anything you can do, I can do just as well. 109 Nissan net points for Paige Hadley, who's got through a power of work. 23 feeds, 6 centre pass receives, picked up a deflection and intercept. Proud was there too.
And she's sitting top of the Nissan net points at 109 at the moment, Will. Having a cracking match, Hadley.
Contributions all across the board, though, from the Swifts. Except for Taylor Fraser, it's hard in wing defence to get a Nissan net point. She's on 7. It's just a tough ask.
It's a tough gig.
Yeah, tough gig. 63-42. The Swifts winning another quarter here at the moment, and the buzzer's going to beat the Magpies down court, and this one has a Swifts win all over it. And we have to stop play here just to start it, just to hear the hooter to end the third quarter. And we do, and the Swifts win that one 19-16. 19 goals to the good here at three-quarter time. Can they close it out? Find out right after this break.
Ways to win a bit more ball. Yeah. Okay, we'll call same thing to the sideline. Let's go between your one-on-one plus also your box. That way, and if we sit these guys really high in the box, let's have a look to just come and fly. And there's probably you flying, and then you having a look at that ball player mate, and then you're going to need to go to post. Instead of going straight to post and finding the body, give the illusion that that it's free, the ball may come in flatter, and then that's the one you want to run your feet through and see if you can win that ball there.
Nicole Richardson looking to enthuse her charges going into this fourth quarter. Three-quarter time, of course, brought to you by Origin Energy, and Sam Pullman was listening into the Swifts, and they surely will be happy with how things are going, Sam.
A very happy and positive bench, but why wouldn't they with this lead? I love their challenge in this last quarter because it talks about defence. They want to try and really focus on winning some ball in the mid-court by using their anticipation. So what that means is not going for a fly for an intercept too early, identifying that ball's coming, waiting, and then going. So keep an eye on that, Will, because that's a very impressive defensive skill that they want to really nail in this last quarter.
Thanks, Sam. Just as they did in the third quarter, a turnover. Ward tries to return fire. Doesn't work. Jackie Newton on in goal defence. And the combination changes yet again in the Swifts attack. It's Fawns in goal shooter, and now Housby in goal attack. Kinchliff is off. And on we go with the fourth quarter in this one, 64-42. Big win coming, you would think, for the Swifts. And they want to make it bigger if they can. And Fawns goes some way to doing that. She's playing with some kind of confidence today.
Yeah, they've started off exactly where they left off in the last quarter, just firing those balls, getting in that middle channel and opening up the space in attack. Look at them defence. They are bulldogs on everything. You can see the movement is working really nicely together as a unit.
Magpies work hard to get that one in to Nelson, who has been restricted to 33 shots thus far in this one. Housby high, Fawns off the split, steps forward for another one from similar range. Different result though, this one short, and Newton picks it up.
And a great rebound. The Collingwood Magpies didn't have too many to their name coming off that last quarter, so a good start from Newton, except for that pass.
Striking commentary there.
Sorry.
Correct. It's been me that's been putting the mockers on everybody. That one not so much. Brown in front, uses great agility to keep it in. Fraser hits the deck. Good play there from Brown.
Such a great lifter from Brown. That's exactly what those players need to continue to do, to keep stepping up. Now that she's got a taste of it, she'll have to go in and try again.
They couldn't honour that work though with a goal at the end of it. The Diamonds. The Swifts. Lots of diamonds in there. The Swifts regaining possession. Every attacking combination the Swifts have used hasn't really disrupted the flow of goals for them, which is a good sign. We talk about their defensive versatility in terms of combinations, but seeing their attacking versatility as Cloud does the job again, denied by the whistle.
And on that point, Will, before this game, I'm not certain they had that versatility in that goal circle. As we see the Harvey Norman replay, beautiful from Cloud, in front, two hands on it. Umpire thought different, but now we're starting to see Fawns into the mix, and I love that Bryony Akel has kept her out there, giving her that confidence, because you can't win premierships just with 7, especially when the team starts to, whoever you're playing, throw something completely different at you. So loving that the Swifts are able to change it up.
Just putting more strings in the bow as they head into the business end of the season. Lovely little bit of movement there from Fawns. Really sending a message to the rest of the top 4 teams as there continues. That's a happy coach there, about to win her 50th Super Netball game, but those teams bunched up at the top. We saw Maddie Proud, well, we heard her talk about it just at the end of half-time there, about how, wow, another one from Hadley flies high, more net points in the bag for the 150 gamer. But it's really a sort of a game of momentum at the back end of the season. We see the Vixens cop a big win, keeping the Thunderbirds to the mid-30s in terms of goals. Here's the Harvey Norman replay from Hadley, but And then the Thunderbirds are stumbling, obviously, and the Swifts know they need to not just win, but win big over a team they're expected to win over, and really send a message that they're not a team that can escape with a narrow victory, a team that can really put the foot on the throat when the time comes. And the other teams will be watching this one and knowing that they might be looking out for the red dress at finals time. Paige Hadley sitting on 126 Nissan net points now, 16 assists, 6 centre pass received, 25 feeds, 2 intercepts and a deflection. That is a game and a half.
This is possibly the best game I've seen her play in a long time. She's always that steady head, just continues going about her business, but she has injected in attack and defence. Both have been very, very solid. The Diamonds are looking very good, Will.
World Cup coming up in July in Cape Town. There you go, 128 now. Housby over the 102. Proud, who spent some time off, is on 85. And Sophie Fawns, who has spent not that much time on court, 71. Absolute domination by the Swifts. Sophie Garvin back on now.
Oh, look at that transition from the Collingwood Magpies. That's exactly what they need to do. Find space quickly. Swifts will be really disappointed in their defence on that one. But a really great uplifter from Ward on that pickup.
69-46, 23 goals. Newton with the ball in hand, looking for a way forward, can't find one, goes back. Ward's turn now. There are Swifts everywhere. They thread the needle this time, find their way to Nelson, picks up her 32nd from 35 attempts. Just playing so freely. The freedom of having that kind of buffer, which they haven't enjoyed this season since about round 2, I'd say.
Obstruction, goal defence, advantage.
It's probably very unfamiliar territory for Bryony Akel right now, that's for sure.
Oh, she's going to get home and she's going to...
Look at her.
Like, she's thinking, when am I going to start stressing out? That's what I do on Sundays.
She's certainly enjoying herself in this game, and why not?
Lovely feint forward, then use the back space. Hadley knew what was coming. And Fawns loves it, and why not? All the connections firing beautifully, and it's a little hard to watch for Magpies fans. Not much to be positive about.
Wing defence obstruction, advantage offside.
Oh, good rebound. The Magpies have certainly probably addressed that in that quarter-time break, making sure that they get their hands on any misses. And the nice little fake off from Brown, just to release the defence for a moment.
Turner hitting the deck, ball beating everyone. 6 minutes 50 to go in this one, and the Swifts will be eyeing off that 80 goal mark. I asked the question at three-quarter time, what do they need? As the ball heads out to Ward as Fraser nearly falls over out of court. So what do they need to get that percentage-wise and stand clear at the top of the table? They needed 120 goals, so that was out of the question at three-quarter time. But they've certainly taken a chunk out of the Magpies today.
And no doubt Bryony Akel would have been saying that to the team. Make sure we get as many points as we can on the board for when these moments do happen at the back end of the season.
Well, it is so tight, isn't it? Thunderbirds and the Swifts will be equal. 2 points back, the Vixens. Goal percentage could come into it when you're looking at a home final. And the timeout called, HCF tactical timeout, and we're going to have a listen to the Magpies as they try to close out this last super shot period with some momentum.
I just reckon off the centre pass, mix it around where those last two centre passes, you've tried to push through 2 or 3 players. So let's use that as the collapse. Collapse, don't get through with them. You then come and pulley it, yeah, wide. So go through the middle of them, you pulley wide, and then you're connecting second phase with vision for Cloud to come out and expose Shimmy at the post, okay? You're not going to get through a solid wall there. We're trying to push through something and there's no space there.
Yeah, or if there's
one step, and then pull out. You've got to make them keen on you, so Kelsey's a bit freer.
This is the time to take the risk, ladies. Let's go. Let's go, girls. Fuck it! Wiggle!
Coming up straight after this one, it is the Fever. Looking to bounce back after yet another 1-goal loss, taking on the Firebirds, who need to take their chances at the back end of this season as they sit in the bottom 4. Don't miss that one. Sue Gordian leading the team there from RAC Arena in Perth, and then pivot straight after that. Cara Conan, who heads up the Sunshine Coast Lightning attacking line, will be the special guest as we round out this round of Super Netball, and we mark 1 month to go until the finals. And then, of course, the World Cup coming up straight after that. Garvin back on and back into the scoring. It's the Magpies. They hit 50. Unfortunately, that happened for the Swifts quite some time ago. Housby high and Fawns working well. Steps in. Not super shot period yet. Knocks one in, though. Back at 23.
Well, Nicole Richardson asking the Magpies to make sure there was only one over the line on the centre pass. You can see that they listened. Brown over first phase, Garvin on the second.
Garvin looks for a super shot at Turner, and Clow are having fun out there. Didn't stop the ball from going in, though.
Well, that's one way to get your opposition offside.
That's a team who's enjoying their netball at the moment.
Right.
Housby, super shot again, looks good, doesn't sink. Gets a Falcon for a troubles, but another shot as well. This time, no problem whatsoever. And here comes the lift from Turner. Got nothing but a wry smile from Sophie Garvin. And 23 goals and another HCF timeout as the end of this one is being dragged out by the Magpies, and Nicole Richardson is fighting to the death.
I'm going to bring you off for the last 5. You two switch around the other way. Yep. Let's go. Okay. Here we go. Collectively as a group, we've got 5 minutes to play here. Okay, so let's go hard. We win this last quarter. Okay, win this last quarter. So work hard to deny any 2-point shot here, expose the post, and have the courage to go for it down this end. Good rebound positioning. Take care of our fundamentals, work hard for the 1-on-1 at BPM. Let's go. Work hard! Let's go!
Looking at that score breakdown, can the Swifts win all 4 quarters for the first time this season?
Well, they certainly can, Will, and I think that's one thing that they will be aiming for, that full 4-quarter performance. You did see the change-up of Garvin going back into goal shooter for the Pies, Singleton out into goal attack. So I'm interested to see what happens here. We often see Garvin only back here at Diamonds level. Can we see that injection and that strength under post? Let's have a look.
Sam Pullman has the microphone to her mouth and is extremely excited to say something. Sam?
I am so excited, Bill, and the reason why is because Sam Wallace was in that huddle being coach and directing the team. That's a very calm and confident team that allows the coaches just to once again in this match sit on the bench, and I love that Sam Wallace is still engaged in the team. And why wouldn't she be with how well they are playing in this match?
Kalei Yongi is out there as well for her second game after her debut last week. She was 3 years with the Giants. You crossed paths with Kalei Yongi?
I did. She was a youngster coming up through the Giants pathways and has transitioned over to the Swift side. And gosh, it's done well for her as well, because see her, she's on the court now. She's got a lot of strength, a lot of power, and a beautiful player that can read plays ahead of time.
Oh, Sophie Fawns playing with confidence beyond her years. 19 of 25. Speaking of Yongi, I noticed that Monia Gerard is in the crowd. That's her auntie.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a family affair.
It is indeed, and good to see her out on court. Also, along with Lily Gorman-Brown, making their second games for the Swifts in Heritage Round. Garvin on the edge of super shot territory, and no good, and that just pretty much sums it up. 79-52. We're going to hit the 80 in a minute for the Swifts, and there'll be a cheer right around Ken Rosewall Arena.
Well, sadly, before that timeout, they were only down by 2 in this quarter, the Magpies, but now sitting at 16-10.
Oh, how quickly it changes with the super shot, and here comes another one, and that makes an 81. Well, the Swifts sending a message to the rest of the competition. Look out, here we come in June. Everything falling their way at the moment, and every shot falling as well from Fawns. High five, and doesn't Romelda Aiken-George love it as well? 83 goals now with 2 minutes to go. Down to the pocket for Jovic. Singleton, super shot territory as well. Can she give it another $100 to Confident Girls? Not this time. One minute 49. They'll be closing in on the record score, and they're not going to get it that way. Ward getting a hand on one, picking up her own tip, and Jovic heads down court. Brown and Singleton is going to have another super shot. So tough. 2 tips on the way through those 2 passes. Swifts get them both. Just their day.
Contact in defence.
Lovely movement from Fawns, and can she nail another one? Yes, she can! 85!
Wow.
What's the record?
86!
Is it 86?
It's 86!
Oh my gosh, here we go. Last minute centre pass receive. Oh, Helen, keep it in. 85 goals. What a blowout in the end. 52. 40 seconds on the clock. Can they pass the 86 mark?
Well, Cloud doing her best to try and get him there. And a beautiful shot from Garvin after a tough day at the office.
I think there's going to be... Is there going to be a turnover? No. They're going to fall one short of the record, I think. Centre pass received to the Swifts. 7 seconds to go. Fires it in, and Housby for the record, and super netball. No!
Oh, I thought it was a penalty.
Oh, so close! Doesn't matter. 85-56, and the Swifts have sent a message, and that message is, we'll see you in the finals. What a game in front of this crowd at Ken Rosewall Arena. The Magpies entirely outplayed. Tough to watch at times after a difficult week. Plenty of respect from these players. But what an effort from every single Swift out on court. saw off an early charge, won all 4 quarters and won them well. In the end, 22 to 14 was the score in that quarter, and they have been consistent and they have been immaculate.
They sure have, Will. You know, you talk about the Swifts and how good they are, but the one thing that was really holding them back was the ability to get gains. Today, 19 gains to their name, sitting at 95% conversion rate. So that is, I know the Magpies didn't have a good game today, but no team is beating that.
Certainly they aren't, and the Vixens and the Thunderbirds and the others who we might see in June will be very wary of what the Swifts can bring, because they have won 6 in a row and 5 of them were incredibly narrow. This one, anything but. A huge score and contributions across the board. 624 Nissan net points. Helen Housby, Maddie Proud and Paige Hadley all over 100. Paige Hadley 144.5 Nissan net points, which has got to be up there with maybe, that could be the highest of the season. I'm not 100% sure, but there's no doubt as to who the player of the match is going to be. Sam Pullman.
Who else would it be? The 150 games for the New South Wales Swifts, and you are today our MVP. Congratulations. How does it feel, Paige?
Oh, thank you. A bit emotional, I feel like. Obviously 150 games for the Swifts, who I grew up watching in the yellow dress, was so special, and for the girls to put out a performance like that, I couldn't be prouder.
The stadium here today is full of past Swifts or staff, and then full of future Swifts, including maybe your 2 nieces. How special is it to don the yellow but have everyone here today, and then also get your 150?
Yeah, it's so special. I think that's something that Bryony really instilled when she came in, was bringing all the past legends of our club, and they absolutely love celebrating us. So yeah, so special having the crowd and here supporting us, and to be able to wear the yellow dress that so many of us looked up to. But yeah, so special, and yeah, it's pretty prouder.
Well done, Paigey. Talk to us about, you've had some really close wins recently. How nice is it to play a game where you have that a little bit of a gap and you can play with confidence and try some new things?
Yeah, it was interesting. I still felt like, you know, that you can never kind of stop playing. I felt like with the super shot, we knew that they were always going to try and come back, but it was really nice to be able to build every quarter today, and that's what we've been trying to look for. And I thought, you know, Soph Vaughan's coming in and Helen and her being able to shoot the lights out in that 2-point time was awesome. But yeah, obviously nice to get a bigger win than just one this week.
Congratulations. Enjoy this incredible win and this moment. 150 games, Paige. Congratulations.
Thanks so much, Sammy.
Let's take a look then at the match summary as the Swifts do their lap of honour and are being given a standing ovation all the way around. And shooting accuracy, well, you can expect that's actually pretty good considering the number of super shots that were put up. Penalties were in the favour of the Swifts as well. Turnovers, 23 to the Magpies.
Yeah, a tough day at the office for the Magpies. And look at that time in possession, 59% to 41 going the Swifts' way. You could see that they had all the time in the world to play around with it, but they also had lots of ball in hand, and that came from those games, the 19 games. But 623 Nissan net points. My goodness, Will, that is incredible.